Holding our breath.
All right, we are live. Here we go. We're going to show the comments on the screen. All right, Jenny.
Yes, let's do it.
Here comes the intro. I don't know what the delay is here. You're listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Grow Clinton is a 501c6 nonprofit economic community development and tourism organization based in Clinton, Iowa. For more information, visit growclinton.com. Again, that's growclinton.com. Now, back to the show. What's happening, all you millions of fans out there of the Grow Clinton podcast in podcast land? Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. 138 episodes of the Grow Clinton podcast has graced the airwaves of the World Wide Web. As always, I am your host, Andy Sokolovich, president of Grow Clinton, joined by Jenny Home from our office. Jenny, what's happening?
We had a great meeting today, didn't we?
Yeah, we had our board meeting, our first board meeting of the new fiscal year, FY25-26, kicks off in July, 1 July to be exact. It was good. We have two new board members. We have Carrie Donaire from Citizens First Bank, which is a great board member because Carrie brings not only the banking side with her, she's also a very talented marketer. But she was, in the past, our CVB, Convention and Visitors Bureau Director.
Yes. I like that she asked questions.
Yeah. Born and raised in Clinton. Carrie's one of my besties.
Yeah.
Carlos, her husband's awesome. I just love them. You can't help but love them.
Right.
I mean, they're just really good people.
Yeah.
Really good people. And then we have Shauna Hansen, who's joining us from Sweetheart Bakery, Homer's Deli. It's great to have a North End business serve on our board. Shauna is very involved in the Lions Business Professional Association, so it's exciting to have her insights and input as we continue to develop as an organization.
I love how Shauna represents such a long-standing business in Clinton as well.
Yeah. Yep. You know the Thorntons.
Yes, you do.
You know them. Chuck and Brenda, they're a force.
They are a force, and that's
do
a
lot
good
of great
force.
Things. Yeah, good force. So I got something going on with my hair right now. I don't know. I started.
You look devil-may-care.
Here's the deal. I went and got my hair cut.
Yes.
Had my hair cut. Lovely young lady. She did a great job. But she asked me, do you style your hair wet or dry? And I didn't know what that meant. I thought she meant like, do I comb it when it's wet or do I comb it when it's dry?
Yeah.
And she asked my son the same question. He was in the seat next to me. His stylist did. So there's a thing called texture powder. Did you know this?
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Didn't know this. Deanna, did you know this?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Well, I guess I'm out of the textured powder loop.
It's also dry shampoo. That's what it's called.
Yeah. Well, so I bought some textured powder,
Yes.
and I've been tossing it on the old head every day before I come to work, and it's interesting. It's like gel, but not tacky.
No.
But I'm not sure what to do with it
moves.
because if I go outside and the wind's gusting, I come in looking like a peacock.
It's formed to that.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I've always had like a hair crisis because for 12 years I was in the military and I had to cut it a certain way.
Yes.
And then when I left the service, it was like, what am I going to do with my hair? And then there was a time in the not so distant past where I had long hair. I don't know if you remember that, but it was like down to my shoulders.
Sheesh.
And I remember a lovely lady, a mutual friend of ours, older, very kind, very nice, but very little filter. She said, what are you doing with your hair? And I said, I'm growing it out. And she was like, well, it looks dumb.
It looks dumb.
Like, okay. And of course, I couldn't get that out of my head, literally. So I went and cut my hair. But
I don't think my hair has forgiven me. I think Deanna can say this too since the 80s with the perms and the, oh, man.
Yeah. Ooh, perm. Guys used to like torture hair.
Giant.
Chemicals.
Oh,
awful.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Awful.
definitely.
Color, chemicals, everything. Hot irons.
One time I thought I was cool and I was hanging out with a whole bunch of ladies back in the day.
Okay. The what?
Ladies. And they said, hey, can we bleach your hair? Because that was like, and what am I going to say? No.
No, girls.
Because they're all sitting there like grabbing my hair and like, oh, we should bleach your hair. So I allowed them to do so. I think they even made me give them money for the bleach that they had to go buy or the dye. So
you were all in.
I came home and the next day I woke up and it was kind of late in the day and I walked out. My mom looked at me and said, what did you do? And it was like, because I had like brown hair, kind of like the color it is today, less the gray. It turned more of an orange than a yellow. Or
brassy.
blonde.
That's called brassy.
And my grandfather persisted to call me Yellowbird. You say, oh, Yellowbird's coming. Here comes Yellowbird.
Man, let it go. Yeah.
So I did that. And then I went through a whole beard thing where I grew this gigantic beard. And the really sad part about that story is why I love the beard, because I felt like it made me look like a Viking, like manly. We had family pictures done when I had the beard.
I remember that.
And if you know anything about pictures, it takes a while to get them delivered, and then we got them professionally framed.
Yeah.
So when they got there, and my wife took them out of the brown wrap that they were in to hang them on the wall, there was me with my massive beard. Instant regret.
I remember.
Instant regret.
I called that your Civil War general period.
Yeah, it was not cool. It was all over the place. It was frizzy, and I had this big gray patch. It looked like I dunked my chin in a bowl of milk. It was not cool.
You took a shot at hot combing it too.
I did. I straightened it there. I don't know.
Oh well.
We all do dumb things, but you know what's not dumb, Jenny?
What?
High-speed fiber internet. That's right. We love it here at Grow Clinton, especially on the podcast. Miles Communication hooking us up with wicked fast high-speed internet. MilesTelephone.com. Again, MilesTelephone.com. Check them out. If they're not in your neck of the woods, they are on their way. Also offering television and telephone services. MilesTelephone.com. Great show today, Jenny.
We do. We have someone I've known for quite a while, and she's a community icon.
She is an icon, and she's one of the busiest ladies that I've ever met. I had the opportunity to meet Miss Deanna Posey way back in the day. I don't even know if you remember, but it was through the Chamber of Commerce at the time, I believe.
Okay.
And you were just getting into your Java world that you're in now.
Java world.
And this is when you had Deanna's Java station, and it was just the drive-through by Paul's. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Always call it Paul's.
Yeah.
Always.
I love Paul. I miss it so much dearly.
I miss Mr. Cassidy.
Yeah. Very cool.
Wonderful man.
Yep.
But Deanna, tell us a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey, what brought you into the Java biz, and then reveal how many locations you have and what makes each location different and special.
All right. Well, back in, I'd say like 2004, that's kind of dating everybody, but I was like 20. But anyway, back in 2004, I was in the nursing home industry. I was like a nursing home consultant. And so I worked in like Chicago and Davenport area. And I went to a brand new, I think it was in Bettendorf, had a brand new hospital at that time. And it was kind of like state-of-the-art hospital. And it was like for all the pregnancies and, giving birthing center, new birthing center, things like that, very high tech. And I looked over and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's like a little coffee area, So now you're probably saying to yourself, man, that was a long time ago, because now it's like coffee shops on every corner, every doctor's office. Pretty much it's like
but you didn't
saturated.
You didn't know that then.
No.
So you're cutting edge.
I'm thinking to myself, wow.
Trendsetter.
That's pretty cool, So I went over and talked to him, and I was not like unhappy in my job. I was very well paid, and I learned a lot about the medical field and was always intrigued by the medical field. But I just saw this, and out of curiosity, I'm like, hey, what's going on here? And she's like, well, we're just opening up this new place here at the Bettendorf Hospital, and I have like a drive-through one too. And I'm like, you have a drive-through coffee shop? And she's like, oh yeah, I've had it for a couple of years.
And this is 2004.
Wow.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, seriously, you've had it for a couple of years even? So I think she was, in the beginning, she was like me, like one of the only ones that had something open, like in 2004, and probably even sooner than that.
So when did you open up the first one then by Paul's?
Yeah, so I met her, and in 2004, we kind of like got the ball rolling, and she was helping me, and I obviously was paying her a consulting fee, which, is pretty cool. But anyway, so I got the financing finally, which took like forever to get the financing, but also took me forever to find a location where I could actually put something. So like I had asked Mr. McElhaney, I had asked all these people. Obviously, people knew who I was, but not like it is now.
Right.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
So it was an untested market.
And whole different ballgame. Yeah. Whole different way of being looked at. First off, as a woman going to start a business,
That's interesting.
And definitely no bank, every bank pretty much said to me, hey, I don't know if that's a good idea, a drive-through coffee shop.
Wow. And you kept going.
I just kept going because I have a lot of tenacity.
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. That's for sure.
Then my neighbor, Ben Yoder's like, come down here and talk to me. So I don't know if anybody remembers Ben, but he was a great man.
Yes.
And so, a wonderful neighbor. And so he said, let's go to the bank and let's get you started. So we did, and push came to shove. I finally got the loan. It was maybe like $100,000. And so at that time, that was a lot of money.
Right, yeah.
A lot of money. I'd never seen that kind of, I'd never gotten a loan like that. I lived in a $30,000 house. So I didn't understand any of that. That was like beyond what I had ever thought of taking a loan out for. So it was a big deal. So we got underway, and am I still on?
No, we're still on. Keep talking.
All right. So
I'm just working on the side.
We got underway, and the great thing about it is I met Rob Cassidy. I had not known him before. We became absolutely wonderful friends.
Oh, good.
And we got everything built. Had a couple challenges, but that's what happens when you're doing things or even building a house. That's just the way it goes.
When you go to build the standalone that was in the parking lot at Paul's,
yes,
what was that process like? I mean, because you can't just go and he can't just give you permission and say, yeah, you can build it there, and then you do it. It's a process.
Right. So back then it was probably a little bit easier to do things, because as things progress, you have more laws, more rules, different things like that. And so I was the first one, so I didn't have like a lot of rules because even the inspector didn't really even know
what's the first time he saw something,
so
I'm sure.
To me, I feel like I was lucky. Now it's a little bit more, not saying difficult, challenging to open things up than it was then.
Okay.
So, but it helped that Mr. Cassidy, they had been there since 1964.
Jeez.
So his grandpa knew what he was doing, and so did his dad. So they were so I learned a lot from that man. And the greatest thing about it is that he charged me such a small amount of money to be on that lot.
He believed in you.
And
that's what it takes,
cool.
too, to have somebody
really
back you like that.
He really did. My parents, my brothers, and my husband, and I would say Mr. Yoder. And so that first day we opened, because there's so many things in between that, but the first day that we opened, it was like in July of 2005. And so here comes out Mr. Cassidy, all the employees, it was almost like I'm surprised he didn't hire a band. Okay. So, and the coolest thing about him is that he even paid for a full page ad for the first day that I was going to open.
No
That's
way.
awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And so the first day I made $150, and you would have thought, it was $1 million, right?
Yeah.
So I just remember that day so clearly. And I just, after that, make sure my loan was paid.
Right.
So I paid that $100,000. Okay.
Yeah.
That was a 10-year loan, an SBA loan. And I probably got it because I was, like a woman and stuff like that.
Right.
So
It's available.
I was glad that was there for me. And so I paid it off. And so I decided, I think I'm going to open up a Well,
what made you do that? I mean, what made you think to do that?
well, Slops,
Yeah.
Yeah, Josh Christensen.
his dad and I became very good friends. And so his dad was talking to me about some things. And all of a sudden I'm like, well, maybe I could just be right next to Slops there. And that's what we did. We opened that up, and we had like a sit down and, some breakfast items. And we started to do even like deliveries. So, and then I have one of the girls, Carla, is still with me, that helped me in the beginning there of that first year.
The
open
whole
that.
time?
She's
Oh,
been
wow.
there. I think she's been there for sure 10 years.
Gee.
So we're at the 10-year mark. So, but I've always been blessed with good employees.
Oh my gosh,
So
that's huge.
I'm not saying along the way there weren't some bumps, because that's just how people are,
a
personality
business.
conflicts or whatever. But I would say I'm a good employer, and I would say that I'm fair. And truly, when people learn how to do it, I have trainers that train people now, but even when I was doing it, when I would train people, I would just say the greatest thing about doing this job is that the people that you meet, because you're going to meet people that are going to change your life. you know?
Well,
You
you're,
did.
you're meeting people and you have something they want.
Yeah.
And for
I mean,
some,
they're
it's
like,
they
give me my,
desperately need
give
it,
me my
right?
crack.
Yep.
Yeah.
And actually, Chris Streets, he named it crack in a cup. So
Yeah,
that's
he
his
did.
fault,
He did
the whole
do that,
thing.
yeah.
But
Crack in a cup.
and so the people I've met, just even like mentioning Christopher Streets, I mean, I have met so many cool people that I really wish I would have wrote a book.
You should.
You know, I really should have written all these things down, the people I met and the business people I've met. And it's just been like one of the greatest experiences, you know, besides having children.
You know,
Seriously.
the power of connections, the connections that you made, that you said you've met, you made friends with, and doing business like that, that's a very pleasant way to do it. And I also know a few people who work for you. So, and I asked, do you love it? I love it. They love working for you.
It's nice. And once people are trained, you're pretty much by yourself anyway.
Yep.
I'm not a micromanager. I almost probably give people too much slack sometimes, but I've been doing this long enough that I'm pretty intuitive to, you know, if somebody's a good person. And I really hire people on their personality. I don't hire people with experience. I'd rather actually have people with zero experience because I can teach you how to be a barista. I can't teach you how to be a good human.
Well, it's just like me with bartending. I do guest bartending every once in a while.
Yes.
I'm not a good bartender. but
it's your personality.
But I think I can tell enough
Yeah.
jokes to get
Yes.
by.
Get through.
Yes.
It's like it's
Yep.
smoke and mirrors. Like
Right.
don't look what the magician's doing in the
I
back
know.
behind the curtain.
Takes 5 minutes to make this drink.
Yes. Just pay attention to my banter.
Yes.
Witchy
Yes.
banter.
I totally
So
understand.
now you
that.
have obviously the location, the drive-up location right next to the former Paul's. And you have
Mm-hmm.
a location on 13th. You're not next to Slops anymore. You're down in the end.
We had an opportunity, and it just worked out that after COVID, you know, I wanted to make sure that I had a drive-through at every location in case something like that happened again. But so that's the reason that I just asked the owners, hey, you know, could I move down here? And we put a drive-through in, and obviously they were great. Another great people, the Caesars to rent from. So good people. I've always just been extremely blessed to have like people like that, you know, that are good to me. And obviously, you know, you pay your rent on time, things like that. Those are all factors.
Yeah, that's
they,
important.
They love tenants that pay their rent on time. I'm sure.
Yeah. And I think in today's world, that's kind of difficult, you know, so the way people take advantage of others. But I've just never been that kind of person. And, you know, having a wonderful family like my mom and dad, they just always instilled that really hard work and, you know, being fair and being honest is going to get you further in life than, you know, anything else. So in
Very good.
2018, to answer the other question, the last one that we did, another person came up to me, the Olsons, David Olson, and he's a realtor, and they're wonderful carpenters. If you've ever seen any of their work, they are meticulous and absolutely wonderful at building houses. So they bought that building on North 2nd Street, and at that time it didn't have the lot next to it. And I bought that from Sparks, which is another great, wonderful neighbor. But anyway, so they had this building, and I'm not sure exactly at the time what they were going to do with it, but they approached me and said, hey, if we built out a coffee shop here, would you just rent it? I go, I don't know, let me think about that. Now that's you know, if you're going to do a triangle, that would be the triangle,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
the third piece of, you know, not really thinking about it.
Well, you hit every segment in town.
Yeah.
Right.
Which, you know, and I didn't even plan it like that, but it's just like, you know, how God worked it out, right?
Right.
So anyway, so the Olsons approached me. I said yes. We built that out. And in 2018, man, that place is like...
That exploded.
It's rocking and rolling. And I love that building.
Yeah.
So
I do too.
It's just the coolest building ever. And they gave me such a great opportunity buying it. And we bought the lot next door, so we pretty much have from the stop sign to Sparks, you know, that house that's next to Sparks. And so I just love it. I love the area. I love the stream. I love the people. You know, now everybody's stuck. You know, I'm only going to the north end because that's where I live.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
right.
I'm only going to the one by Paul's because your daughter works there. You know,
Yeah.
so it's just really cool how people are like, they have their favorite person, and that's wonderful that they do. I mean, I think that's great. Everybody has their favorite bartender. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
Maybe it's not you, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's
but everybody.
it's probably not me.
But you know, I think that all overall, like I said, it's just been like a wonderful adventure. I do not do anything with barista work now unless it's like an emergency, because I've really stepped out of that. And so during COVID, we probably made quadruple
Yeah.
on a daily basis for about however long that
Well,
lasted.
because it was
It's
a
all a
morale
blur.
booster
Right.
that delivered.
Perfect setup.
It's like I don't even remember COVID, because I didn't even have time to get COVID because
Yeah.
we were so busy. So I didn't get it. But anyway, so we did so great, and with that money, I developed a kitchen inside there, and then upstairs we have a beautiful Airbnb.
Oh,
and so
I was going to ask you what the upstairs
yeah,
was.
Yeah,
That's
that's an
awesome.
Airbnb, and we've had in a year and a half, we've had 50 guests. Really have never had any problems. It's full pretty much all the
I
time.
love Airbnb.
Yeah.
I know, it's awesome.
Great
Kind of
idea.
the way to
And
go
it's
now,
a-
to
It
be
is.
honest.
It is, and it's a hit or miss because we do a lot of traveling. So, it is, I know what to look for in different things, but Airbnb is just wonderful because they take care of everything.
Yeah,
I mean,
it
they
was
are
great.
like, they're not the owner, but they take care of everything.
And
so
you get to experience living somewhere for a short time.
yeah.
In someplace really cool. Like when my wife
Right.
and I went to
Yes.
Lake Geneva.
Oh, yes.
We rented an Airbnb that was just outside, about 10 miles outside of Lake Geneva, which really adjusted the price point for the Airbnb.
does.
Yes.
Yep.
Being outside of Geneva.
Yes.
But this lady lived in a beautiful log cabin, and she lived upstairs, and the bottom was just set up like an ensuite. It was just a
Oh,
total
so cool.
cool spot, nice bed, door opened up to the woods. I mean, it
Oh,
was really
man.
neat.
Yeah.
Isn't
And
that
you could go
neat?
for all these walks because they were actually butted up right against a state park.
Yeah.
So you immediately access the trails and everything. and
It's
it was so
perfect.
neat, and it was affordable, and I absolutely loved it. But she was so accommodating. Anything we wanted, anything you needed. I mean, the basic cleanup at the end, but
Yeah.
nothing major.
It's just like
That's
being at a
awesome.
home.
It
at a
is.
home.
It is. It is. It was great.
What I like
Very
is
good.
today I went out to get a pop on Lincoln Way, and I drove by the Paul's location. Do you call it the Paul's location?
I do, and I
you?
will always do that
Okay.
for Mr. Cassidy.
All right. So
Yes.
I went by there, and there was a line of cars on one side pulling up to make their order, but then the line of cars on the other side. And I just thought, that is so amazing. What a
It is
great
cool.
business.
It is cool.
And people, that they get, you're their destination. Stacy in our office
Isn't that nice?
does a lot of
Oh,
Deanna
yeah.
stops.
Yeah,
Loves
I appreciate
it.
that.
No, we're a huge supporter. Now, do you still have the mobile trailer?
Oh yeah, I've had that since 2018, and that's still great. Now I've learned how to operate that in a better manner. You just learn from those things. So I usually only do paid gigs. But I will go out, like I'll do something for the United Way next week, and we'll just donate the money and stuff like that. So I do like to do that because I really truly do. I made a promise like to God and my family that's like, if I make some money or make extra money, it's all going to charity.
Yeah.
So
Good for you.
That's
what we
great.
do.
That's great.
That's why I love small businesses,
Yep.
right? I mean, you have when you are an entrepreneur, you're a sole owner or something, you control your own destiny. Nobody else does, right?
Right.
And then you have the ability
True.
to do with your revenue or your profits whatever
Right.
you want. There's not a board of
Yes.
directors. There's not a
True.
corporate
Ugh.
head that tells you
Yeah.
what you can and can't do. There's no
Yeah, I'd be in
foundation
trouble.
you have to go
Yeah.
through.
Right.
Yeah.
You are at will to do whatever you would like with that
Right.
money.
Yeah.
And we've
Very
seen
true.
in this community such philanthropic support and power to be able to maintain the level of community services that we have
And
throughout the
no-
variety of nonprofits.
Yeah, knowing Deanna as long as I have, and we kind of grew up together in
Yes.
school and stuff, and
Yes.
her family, I wouldn't have expected anything else. She's a good Clinton girl.
Well,
good.
I appreciate that. Yes, it's been awesome. Like I said, I've met so many just really cool people, and I've traveled a lot of places in my life, and I always can't wait to get home. I love Clinton, Iowa. I don't know how you couldn't.
Oh, I look forward to coming back. Even if I go to the Quad Cities,
Yeah.
if I have to go there on business, I'm smiling ear to ear as I'm hitting 61 and then 30 heading
Right.
back
Yep.
here. Because I just rather be here.
You know,
Yeah.
I have a great story if you have the time. Okay.
Heck yeah.
I went into the
Where's
post.
she going to go? We got her hooked up to a
You're
mic
gonna-
and a...
we'll
and-
tie
and-
you
I am
down.
actually tied to the
Headphones.
chair.
I went to
Call
the
for
post
help.
office last week, and I bought a book of stamps because I'm old timey like that.
Yeah.
Me too.
And I went home. I got in the car, and I'm like, I can't find. I must have dropped them off at home or something when I went back. I forgot about it completely. A couple days later, I had to go into the post office, and the lady at the post office said, "I got something for you. You're gonna get some mail from me, but just forget the mail. And I'm like, I don't understand what's going on here. And she said, a woman found your book of stamps outside and brought it in to be claimed. I didn't know whose they were, so I went through all the mail, and I know that you mailed one thing with that book of stamps, and I went through the whole thing and found the piece of mail that matched the stamp that was gone. And she said, I know. I wanted to hug her.
People do go above and beyond.
They do.
I mean,
that was
so
the kindest thing. Somebody returned my stamps.
Yeah,
that is so nice.
The Midwest nice thing's legit. I always tell my East Coast family that. My dad, every time he comes to visit, there's one place he wants to go, and that's Fairway. He loves going to Fairway.
Yeah, that's a step back in time, though.
Now, granted, Fairway no longer wears the ties and white shirt.
Right.
They have polos. However, the level of professionalism and just overall politeness, it's unmatched. I mean, they're just so great there. My dad loves it. Can I bag your groceries, sir? Would you like to take it out to your truck, sir? Would you like me to load it into your truck, sir? And it's like, what? You don't see that on the East Coast.
Well, and I mean, what you don't see too is, well, maybe you do, I don't know. But Deanna, what she's talking about through the Cassidys, the Yoders, all of that, that's a part of being in a community like this, is that networking and being able to kind of do business on a handshake.
Oh.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Everybody wants to leave a positive legacy.
Yeah.
And what better way to do it than to impact the community that you call home?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, for sure. And like I always tell people, Facebook, like I told my kids, Facebook, Instagram, all those things, just remember the things that you post on there are there forever.
Yes.
And I will tell you right now, when somebody wants to get a job, I do look at Facebook and all those things. And if there is things that are inappropriate or lots of swearing or, cutting other people down or screenshotting what their boyfriend just said, those are people I don't really need to have.
No.
And so I don't think people understand. And it is, immaturity on the most part, unfortunately, of some people that they just don't understand. Thank God we didn't have it, Jenny, back in the day. But
Lord.
I'm just saying we'd all be in jail.
You guys had the outside of a bathroom stall. That's where
that's what we did.
Call Jenny. Right?
You don't see as much graffiti in the bathrooms anymore.
But yeah, everything's just changed since in the last 20 years. Things have changed, they've evolved, but I still just love what I do, and I love Clinton. So
it goes to show that it doesn't matter how much time goes by. It's some of the stuff still stands.
Well, and Clinton loves you, Deanna. So
for
keep
sure.
doing what you're doing.
Well,
We're very lucky to have you in this community.
Yes, thank you for having me. That's so nice.
And we'll do anything that we can do to continue to support you. Just let us know. I mean, you're a rock star entrepreneur. You got a lot of great ideas, a rock solid vision, and I expect nothing but continued growth for you. And then eventually one day you and Mark will drive around the country in your zombie apocalypse Jeep.
Yep. That's Mark.
Now, what's he doing in his retirement?
Pretty much like he helps with the grandkids.
Good.
And he helps me obviously with stuff like that. And he's just a kid at heart, so he's like always doing something. You just never know with him. I never actually know what animal's coming home to the house.
No.
But we have
alive or deceased.
I know we have had to put the kibosh to some of the animals.
Say no to
Thank
some of
God
it.
you can't have a giraffe or things like that, or a llama,
ostrich.
Yeah. So thank God for that. But he's talking about an emu, and I'm really not. Yeah. I'm not sure what's going on with the emu situation yet.
Stop thinking that.
That's
probably,
funny.
Yeah.
My wife's the same way. She thinks she's like Miranda Lambert, and we have a million acres.
Yes.
She's going to have her own zoo because she'll see something like.
Yeah.
My wife is by far the sweetest person I've ever met in my life. And I told this story on one episode of the podcast. I'll tell it real quick, and then we'll close out the show. But she came in the house one day after bringing my daughter back from gymnastics over in Fulton. And my daughter came in and she goes, "Mom's going to get the bird." And I'm like, what is she talking about? And my wife goes, "I got to go." And I'm like, "Where are you going?" She's like, "There's an injured bird on the North Bridge. I got to go save it."
Back?
And I'm like, "Is it on the bridge?" And she's like, "Well, kind of." I'm like, "Do not pull your car up parallel to the bridge and get out and try to save this animal."
What is
it?
Circle of life.
She goes, "It's a duck. It's a duck." So I'm thinking it's a duck, right?
Yeah.
So She goes out there, to her credit, she posted something on Facebook.
Yep.
She found the contact information for like these rescue, like people that do this as like a side hustle. They come out, and I don't even think they get compensated, just out of the kindness of their heart. They come out and they rescue animals and they rehabilitate them, and they find out where. But it was one of those, and I always forget the name of it, cormorants, something like that. It's not a duck. It's an ugly, ugly bird with a like a curved
Cormorant.
beak.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
Yeah.
And it's not a nice thing. So this is, she's trying to grab it. This other lady shows up. They're trying to throw a blanket over it. It must have been hit by a car.
Yep.
But it is like stabbing at them with its beak and hissing and doing all sorts of stuff. But her credit, somebody came, a rescue person, picked it up and took it back and rehabilitated it. And she posted it on Facebook, and everybody was like, good job.
Wow.
Above and beyond.
So she sees, and it's like a running joke in her family. They always do gag gifts for Christmas. And one year they bought her like a squirrel revival kit or something like that. It was like Band-Aids. And then it's, at the end it said like no other, you can't do anything. This is the last resort. And it was a hammer. And she was, because she'll save anything if she believes she can resuscitate it.
It's true.
So no matter the animal.
Yeah.
No matter.
Yes, she does have aspirations of having llamas and alpacas is something she really wants.
Oh
Yeah,
my
that would be
gosh.
cool.
And I don't know if you've seen
You
her,
would like that?
If it was on a farm. Yeah,
Okay.
just not in my backyard on Myra.
I don't know if you've seen like the little Highland cows, like the little miniatures.
my
So
favorite.
cute.
Yes.
She loves
Bunny
those.
has one.
So
Shelly Roll's wife.
Jeez.
Yeah.
oh yeah, so we're gonna eventually have a
those.
zoo somewhere.
That's so cool.
No, we would have about 10 dogs.
Yeah. I love dogs.
I
I
do
do
too.
love dogs.
I do, but man, and to Steve, they're all victims and they're all upset and worried. They need him. They need him.
God.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Deanna, keep up the great work. For
Hey,
all our
thank
listeners,
you.
be sure to
Yes.
check out Deanna's
I
Java.
appreciate it.
Again, she's on 13th, right there at the same shopping center where Slops is. You'll see it right next to, across the street from the Dollar General, right next to Casey's, right there on the main drag. And then you got your drive-through that's located over by the Old Paul's. Currently a storage, indoor
Yes,
storage
that guy's
center.
awesome too.
Yeah, and
yes.
he's really,
I love
he's
him.
putting in a huge investment
Troy
there.
is Troy Theed. Very
Yeah.
good
Good.
man.
And then you have your location on North 2nd Street. And then you have a large coffee cup outside. Is there is it a teacup or is it a coffee cup?
I'd say a coffee cup. I
Coffee.
got that free.
Yeah.
And then
You
Eve,
did?
Eve painted it for me.
Yeah.
Eve Van
Oh, Van
Campen.
Campen. Very
Yeah,
How
talented.
did you
she's
get a
awesome.
large coffee cup free?
Somebody from Backshop called me
Oh.
a couple years ago, and then I'm like, what am I going to do with this? So we went and got it, and it was just white and, cleaned it up and everything. And somebody's like, call Eve. I'm like, okay.
So you took it and you didn't even know what you're
Yeah,
going to do with
I don't
it.
know.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't know was I going to put it on the roof over there. Or
I
what.
love it. I
There's
love
one
that
time
thinking.
back in the day where there was a putt-putt course, like a
Yeah.
little, and they were having a sale of their little things, and I ended up buying a giant gorilla.
Oh, gosh.
No intentions of doing anything with it.
I love
I just
it.
thought I had to have it, and it was
man.
massive, and it probably weighed like 250,
Oh,
300 pounds. So
gosh.
moving
Gosh.
it, I mean, it wasn't concrete, but it's heavy.
If it speaks to you, it speaks to you. You need to have it.
Should have kept that thing.
I love it.
Oh, well. All right. Well, Deanna, thank you so much for being on the show. Jenny, what do you got going on the rest of the week?
Oh gosh, busy. We got stuff to do. I'm going to go visit some people. I think we have one more podcast maybe. It's already Wednesday.
Yeah, and I got to figure out this tech
know,
because
I
we
don't
lost
get
our video
it.
again. I'm sorry, Deanna, but
Oh, that's okay.
Darn it.
Jenny is always concerned about fine lines and wrinkles.
It's working for me. Yeah.
So when the camera goes out, she's like, the camera's out. Jenny, you're beautiful. Just soak it up.
Thanks.
You know what else is beautiful? Miles Communications.
Communications.
That's right. We want to thank them for the high-speed internet they provide to Grow Clinton to support this podcast. My name, as always, is Andy Sokolovich. Thank you so much for listening to episode 138. Be sure to subscribe to the Grow Clinton podcast. We're on iTunes. You can find us on Amazon Music. Anywhere you capture your podcast, just search Grow Clinton Podcast, and you can download our latest episodes. Also, as we close out this show, we do have a little member survey that we created at growclinton.com. In the bottom right-hand corner, you can select a survey, and you can participate in a very short survey where the information that we capture is used to generate new ideas and influence our scope of work moving forward. So again, that's growclinton.com. Click on the link survey. Takes 10 minutes maximum, and you can help us create an amazing future for Grow Clinton and this community. Until next time, folks, stay classy. Thank you for listening to the Grow Clinton podcast. Be sure to subscribe and follow us on all your socials. Until next time, see ya.